Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah, coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Praise the Most High blesses this lesson this evening. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, just a quick note that we are still getting back our information. Thank you for the donation so that we can go ahead and keep on getting these books and this information so we can share it with the nation. It didn't just stop a few weeks ago. It seemed as if that was now just the beginning of the Most High having us recuperate and a lot of our information. Didn't realize what a can of worms the Black Celts book was going to be, because then now it's opened up other books and other information for us to get and bring together. Now, like I said, the Most High is making it so that we can get our records back, so we can get our information back. Knowledge will be increased at the end, and that's what the Father is doing. So just so people understand that this is going to be a continual operation. We had a whole lot of information, and the Most High is now making it so that we can get it back. Sometimes, it can share certain things here on this channel, here on YouTube. Sometimes I got to share it over on Patreon. I said, because a lot of the books open up other books. They reference other books. Just like American Holocaust had all these other books in the bibliography, and ended up leading us to what was it? Dogs of the Conquest, among other books. And Dogs of the Conquest open up other books as well. Same thing is going on right here. Now, as I've always said, I want to make sure that I'm perfectly plain and perfectly clear right here. If you don't agree with what we're doing here, please don't stay. People keep acting like we are a church. They keep comparing us to church, the churches that you've grown up with. We're not inviting everybody to come with us. The Most High is not calling everyone to come with us. I've always told people, if you don't agree with what I'm doing or what I'm saying, please go somewhere else. Let's get it straight right now. Got someone kind of calling my integrity into question. And I pinned that comment because I'm like, oh, first of all, if you don't like what I'm doing here, you make it sound all about money. Do you really think I'm here for $3? You really think that? And what I'm going to do, like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. See, the pastors and the priests, they had their time to go and live high on the hog. They had their time to push lies and then go make all this money and live, get their jets, get their homes, get all this stuff and live it up. That was their heaven. Their heaven is now done. What we're doing right now is now the Most High is calling his people to work together. What do you think? I'm going to go run off and live off of your money? See, unlike the priests and pastors, I have a job. My wife has a job. We've been working. I've been doing all this work the Most High has had me do while I've been working full time. So I haven't depended on anyone. I don't depend on anyone now. The Most High moves people to help because this is what we're going to do as a nation. So don't get it twisted and think that I am like these pastors who have been needing parishioners to come to me in order for me to live some extravagant lifestyle. That is not what this is about. Now the Most High is calling us to work together to get our information back. He's the one, and now that we've come into this time period, is now giving us this information, which is then leading us to other information. I'm going to bring out some of the information here, and the Most High is going to have me bring out some of the other information on Patreon. And later on, it might be somewhere else. It all depends on where the Most High moves us. But if you question what I'm doing, please don't stay. It's that simple. If you question my integrity, you think I'm here for money all of a sudden because I put something on Patreon and you got to pay $3 for, please don't stay. No one's twisting your arm and asking you to stay. I'm not like your priests and pastors that you've grown up with. So when the Most High puts it on your heart, He's the one that's moving you to help. And I know that plenty of the people that make comments, okay, aren't even our people. It's very easy to make up a little avatar right here and throw a black face on it, and then all of a sudden I'm a Hebrew. And we know that they're not. So like I said, let's make sure we get that straight. If you don't agree, don't stay. I'm not like the pastor that was, oh no, please stay, brother. What can I do to make you happy? What can I do to make you understand what I'm doing? See, I'm bringing the truth the Most High gives me. If the Most High is putting that truth in your heart and you're seeing what's being brought out as the truth, then stay and participate and help the nation. If not, goodbye. See, pastors and priests don't tell you that. They wanted you to come because they need your money. The more people that attend their church, the more money they make. I'm not like that. The Most High is going to give us as a nation everything that He said He was going to give us back, back to us. We're going to get into some more information right now. Now, like I said, I'm going to leave some of it here, and then we're going to expound on it on Patreon. Okay? But this information right here, like I said, is you're going to be able to start putting the puzzle pieces together about one of the ploys that the enemy has done to hide, our history. Check this out. We're going to go into the Atlantean Traditions in Ancient Britain by Anthony Roberts, okay? All right, right here. We're going to go right here. Okay, we're going to concentrate right here. In folk tales such as this, the majesty of the supernatural Scottish races lives on in the minds of men, renewed in vision from generation to generation. It must be stated here that it was only from Elizabethan times that fairies were described as tiny, ethereal beings, fleetingly, delicately from flower to flower, and bathing coyly in buttercups. Okay, so that's important. This whole view of fairies and how they've described them is something that's very recent. What were they trying to hide by making fairies like this? Why were they trying, what were they trying to hide when they made fairies these little itty bitty little women who are just kind of, flying around and their little fairy dust and stuff like that? This is a new concept. What were they looked at as before? Before Shakespeare, many were vested with a stature and strength as great, if not greater, than man. And they were looked to as powerful and magical beings, the possessors of occult secrets that were constantly sought after by the inquiring and ambitious humans who followed them. So who does that sound like? Who were the ones that were given the occult secrets, the secrets of the stars, the secrets of magic? Who were the people that were given those secrets? Who were the ones that were not looked at as greater than man? Who looked at as powerful and magical beings? So now when you go back into Jasher and you start to look at the stories of the 12 tribes and how they were just smashing the other nations after they had violated Dinah, and they were just going from city to city, destroying people, destroying the other nations, destroying the Hamites, jumping over walls. Now, see, they kept all that information out of the Bible, remember? They don't want people thinking about, the Hebrews in that way. They don't want you to think about, 12 of them, beating back hundreds of thousands of the Gentiles. They don't want that. So now you got this history right here. And you got this information right here. And then they just converted those people into fairies. And this was something that happened very recently. You guys know when the Elizabethan era was going on. Let's check it out. Elizabethan era, from about November 17th, 1558 to March 24th, 1603. So this is very recent. They're hiding all this information. Look at it down here. It says the Elizabethan era is the epoch in the Tudor period of the history of England during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Historians often depict it as the golden age in English history. So their golden age is very short. 45 years is their golden age. But see, that's when they're trying to hide information, trying to hide who was who. And see, we haven't been exposed to the fact that what were these fairies looked at as before the Elizabethan era. Well, that's what we just saw right now. But they switched it up, made it seem like, oh, these people are here. It's these people right here, right there. All right, give you a little something right here. The adventure of the brave little fairy. And right here. All right. So now take that information and then go do some research on fairies and see what other information you can get. See, this is all part of giving us our knowledge, understanding back. We're going to have to work together to get this information, because these books, as they pop up in other books, you go to look, they're expensive. So these are things that I've still been, through the power of the Most High. I said, many people are still been donating, so thank you. I said, but this is how we have to work together. And please, like I said, don't look at me like I'm these pastors and priests. I said, the Most High has done enough work through me that there's a track record of all the stuff that I've already done. We're working together to get this information. Eventually, we're working together when the Most High says it's time for us to try to get some property so we can actually be together once this stuff hits the fan. If you haven't noticed, the plague is already increasing. The plague is already shutting things down. The Most High is already moving. The other nations are suffering from plague fatigue. Everything's not working out the way that they wanted it to. They've been praying to their white Jesus, and he ain't answering them. They're losing faith. So we've gone into another era where the Most High is just downloading more information. I'm going to start probably even making more videos because of all the information that the Most High is downloading on us. And when you really understand everything that's happening, Most High controls both sides. So please stop giving the other nations so much credit. If the Most High will prod us and move us to do certain things that to fulfill his will. So we're living in absolutely wonderful times right now. I never knew this about fairies. Never knew this about how recently they changed everything. But now go back. Like I said, now I'm getting people that are like, yeah, I've always been, drawn to these movies about, King Arthur and Braveheart and, all this information. Because that's stuff that's the Most High's put in us already. I don't know how many times I've watched Braveheart. I loved that movie. Don't know why I was drawn to it until now. Didn't know why I was always drawn to King Arthur and those kinds of movies. They don't show us in any positions of power, but it doesn't matter because that's what the Most High. It's already been in my heart for a very long time, and I'm sure it's been in the heart of many of you as well. This is opening up a whole new avenue of learning and understanding. And now, except we know that knowledge will be increased. So now the Most High has given us the opportunity to get our knowledge back. If he's given it to us so that when we get ready to go back to wherever he's going to keep us, we have these books with us. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's getting us to, get it all together so we can take it, so we can move it however he wants to do it. We don't ultimately know the plans of the Most High. But we need to really stop, having an evil eye to our brethren. See, if it was a white man telling you to do something, you guys wouldn't even question it. All of a sudden now, the Most High, is having me do certain things, and hey, you're not going to understand everything. I don't understand everything. I don't know his plans, but I just know that once he gives me the opportunity to do certain things, that's what I'm going to do. If he prods me to move a certain way, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what he does with you guys, with the whole nation. So instead of looking evilly at your brother, why don't you pray for understanding? Why don't you pray for direction so the Most High can open up your mind to see what he's doing? Maybe he's doing it to separate people. Most High doesn't always want a lot of people. Pray that you're one of the ones that he's keeping next to him and not trying to get him to separate. So I'm just clarifying. Don't think that I'm like your priest or pastor. I'm going to be begging, for you to stay, because I'm not. If you don't like what's going on here, please go to another channel. If you think that they're all telling you the truth at all the other channels, please go there. If you don't think that we're telling you the truth here and you want to go to the Christian church, be my guest. Go back and get your Cesare on. If this is not for you. But I will not sit here and have people question me when they don't do the work themselves. When I go to your channel, you got nothing up, but you're going to sit here and question me. That's a problem for me. Because if you love the nation so much, you will go out of your way to do whatever the Most High tells you to do. Like I said, that's why I have to question, sometimes people that are saying certain things. I said, I'm not the one. I'm not the one that will sit here and just let you say whatever you want and not respond. So let's just thank the Most High that he's chosen us to be in this generation, to follow the Most High, and to be his vessels in order to bring this truth out. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Be on the lookout for the next continuation of this lesson on Patreon this evening. Shalom.